All right, at the beginning of our show, mentioned that Tony, all these different things that you're involved in, you know, podcasts and documentaries.
Yeah.
You've got a new project, from what I understand. What can you tell me about this new project?
Well, it is my new episode of the Win-Win Situation, my mini documentary, where I am actually focusing on. Well, I'll tell you what the Win-Win Situation is, in case there's people who don't know.
Yeah, start from there.
So what the documentary is about is Murphy's Law. What can happen will happen.
Yeah.
And it's Murphy's Law in people's jobs and hobbies, activities, events. Things
Life.
like that. And general life, yeah.
Yeah.
It's similar to trying to just unveil what I guess people would take they don't pay attention to, such as for yourself when you're doing your show and everything like that, you have to go through stress of putting together the show and finding guests and all these other things. But to the viewers, they just say, "Oh, it's Tom. It's Tom just shows up and and just does his thing." And there's so much more to you, hopefully.
To everyone, really.
Right.
We see this much of what a person is, I think.
Sure. And so I wanted to kind of document that in interesting jobs and things like that. So, I've done sportscasters with like Dan Lucy, and something interesting. I went to Comic-Con and followed around some cosplayers.
That's cool.
And even the staff that's all there, of all the stuff that they have to deal with, including like the celebrities that show up and their own issues with with just doing these types of events. So this episode, I'm going into the world of magic.
Ooh, all right.
Magicians and psychics.
Big magic, close magic?
Both, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I met up with a guy named Sean Paul, the illusionist, and he invited me out to his theater, the Intrigue Theater in Eureka Springs.
Yeah.
And, I followed him around, and he showed me a bunch of, what he does behind the scenes. Now, granted, he doesn't want to reveal all of the tricks and everything like that, and that was, a large part of what my show is about. So we had to kind of, do a little, like, can I shoot this or can I shoot that? And and that. But overall, I mean, there's so much at stake whenever he's doing things.
Do you get into the idea of why have you walked down this path? Do you do that with people as well?
Well, sure, yeah. I go through their history and everything like that, and what motivates them and what drives them. And one thing that people don't take in consideration in terms of a magician is that they're storytellers.
True.
It's one thing to just be like, "Is this your card?"
Yes.
But to play it up in this story of these wise men once did this to entertain a crowd of people, and people claim that he was a wizard or something like that.
That makes them a showman as well. I mean, it separates the great from the maybe just a little technician.
Sure.
You can go, "There's your card."
Yeah. So I followed Sean Paul, but also one of his apprentices. He's actually a police officer that wants to go into magic. And I follow him around in terms of what he's been learning from Sean Paul, and just generally what he has to go through, because he's more of a close-up magic guy.
So did you call him like a sorcerer's apprentice or anything?
I was not witty at that moment. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got a clip for us, right?
I do.
Why don't we take a look at that right now?
Are you with the Virgo?
Yeah. Yes.
Now I'm hearing something for somebody with the name Lynn. The name Lynn in their name. It sounds like this is on the right track.
Yes.
What's worse than fooling the audience is them saying, "Well, I saw that ghost talker. What a load of crap that was."
That was what I was going to say.
What a load of crap that was. Like, people don't understand Bluetooth technology and the little camera he's got in his lapel. And he goes, "I saw 3 of those cameras in the ceiling while I was waiting for the show." And this was in a TripAdvisor review. So that means the whole world gets to see it, and he gets to give us a terrible 2-star review for being wrong.
Yeah. I like that side. Is this how you got the idea you wanted to look a little deeper than the surface? Is that what it's all about?
More or less. I mean, I think everyone really likes behind the scenes looks at stuff. I'm just pinpointing, just doing a little bit of that, but really focusing on things that, people just don't think about. And just as that example, you don't think about that.
All right, most important. Where can viewers see this? How do they connect in?
So you go to ozarsfirst.com and you'll find the Win-Win Situation. Now it's going to air at 6:30 tonight, so it should be in the front page.
Oh, not too far from now.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
All right.
Tony, that looks good. That
Thank
looks
you.
like
Thank
that's
you.
the way I like those kind of things. All right.